Bore da. This morning I want us to consider the tension of Holy Week. And to do that we must go back and try and understand something of what it meant to the early disciples. You see, Easter Sunday is the most joyous day in the Christian calendar. It's that time when Christians rejoice and are jubilant because Jesus Christ, who died, is alive and is alive forevermore. Resurrection morning declares aloud and clear that Jesus has conquered death, hell, and the grave. Yes, its full impact can't be felt unless we understand the uncertainty that preceded Jesus' resurrection. You see, Easter Sunday is the surprise ending to the greatest cliffhanger in human history. Keep in mind that Jesus' death was an especially cruel blow to those who had embraced his teachings. Jesus had released them from the burden of the Old Testament law. He had shown them a new and a better way, and he had promised to them everlasting or eternal life. He had given them hope, direction, and purpose. And when he died, all of that supposedly died with him. His message was tied to his identity. If he was not who he claimed to be, his promises and the truth he spoke were null and void. If he could be silenced by death, so could everything he stood for. So on that Sabbath, that silent Saturday of Holy Week, all must have seemed lost, or almost all. A flicker of hope remained. You see, someone paying very close attention would have recognized that the events surrounding Jesus' death followed a familiar pattern, one that Jesus himself had predicted. Listen to him, Matthew 16:21. From that time, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised the third day. Again, someone paying very close attention would have recognized that the fate of humankind hung in the balance on that silent Saturday. The Apostle Paul expresses the tension well in 1 Corinthians 15 and 14. He says, if Christ is not risen, then our preaching is empty and your faith is also empty. If the grave held him, all was lost. Death would remain undefeated. There would still be a great chasm between God and humanity. In Israel, the Jewish people would settle back into their religious routines, and the rabbi from Nazareth would be forgotten within a few years. If, on the other hand, the grave could not hold him, the world would never be the same. We can maintain our focus throughout Holy Week by meditating on the tension of it, on everything that hung in the balance between Jesus' death and resurrection. In our celebration of Easter, there is also a tension between the solemnity of Maundy Thursday and Good Friday with that of the jubilation of Resurrection Sunday. You see, we have read the end of the story. We know that Sunday's coming. However, for the early disciples, the dread and gloom of Friday had blinded them to the promise of his resurrection 3 days later. Therefore, this Easter, let us enter into the solemnity of Maundy Thursday and Good Friday in the light of Easter Sunday. This, I believe, will help us enter and contemplate the pain, the suffering, and the agony of the cross. You see, without the pain and agony of Good Friday, there would be no triumph of Easter Sunday. Listen to the words of Townsend. There in the ground his body laid, light of the world by darkness slain, then bursting forth in glorious day, up from the grave he rose again, and Jesus is alive. Tomorrow will be Maundy Thursday, and we shall break bread together. So have some bread and wine ready tomorrow. God bless you. Pob bendydd.